1. You spend a lot of your time doing meaningless things. If you're the kind of person who spends a crazy amount of time scrolling through social media and playing video games and binging on series after series, the only advice to give you is to take life a little more seriously. It's true that phones are a must-have in this day and age, and we need them to do certain things like communicate, buy stuff online, and the like. But sometimes we're so engrossed in our phones that we forget about all the other important stuff. It's vital to know where your priorities lie, and they surely aren't on liking people's photos on Instagram and playing meaningless games. Spending too much time on these activities just shows how much of your life you're wasting. Remember that as you chase the fake virtual world, you're missing out on real life. Acknowledge the people around you. Gadgets can be good friends, but at times humans are so much better. Always choose things to do on your free time very wisely. If whatever you're busy doing right now doesn't contribute to your future, consider reevaluating your activities and start over to have a better future. 2. You don't get enough sleep. The importance of sleep has been stressed more than enough. The 7 or 8 hours of shut-eye allows you to be well-rested and ready to tackle whichever plans you had. Some people, however, think that sleeping is just a waste of time and should be spent doing more important things, which couldn't be further from the truth. Sleep is important for a healthier lifestyle. Our bodies are used to a particular schedule, so when you mess up your body clock, it takes a while for your body to adapt. You end up feeling tired throughout the day when you don't get enough sleep. People with a purpose spend their day achieving their goals and are too tired to take part in pointless activities at night. If you're not ready to go to bed at the end of the day, it's very likely that you aren't utilizing your time in the best way possible. 3. You spend a lot of time with people who have negative energy. There will always be people with negative energy in your life. It's very easy to be in the company of such people who will always make you feel unhappy. And the reason you fail to call them on it is you're under the impression that they're actually your friends, when in truth they're energy suckers. It's important to identify such individuals and steer clear of them, or they'll eventually drown you in all their toxicity. This is one sure way to ensure you're improving your life. Spend time with people who make you better and a happier person, instead of those who discourage you and bring you down. Be with people who believe in you even when you don't believe in yourself. These are the people who will pick you up when you fall. Be wise when choosing those you're spending time with. Before we continue, I'd like to know, are you getting any value so far? If you are, kindly like this video. And if you're new, welcome, and go ahead and click subscribe. Done? Good. Let's move on. 4. You like to stay in your comfort zone. People remain in their comfort zone out of fear of what they'll find when they step out of it. It must feel nice being wrapped around that bubble you keep yourself in, but doing so only denies you the opportunity to experience what life has to offer. All those successful people out there didn't reach where they are by being comfortable all the time. They pushed themselves out of it in search of greatness. You're wasting your life by just staying where you are. Human beings are creatures of habit. It's really hard to break out of a routine once we've settled into it. You halt your progress each time you choose to resist change and hold on to what's familiar, as it brings a sense of comfort. You'll never move forward if you're too scared to do things that have the possibility to better your life. 5. You don't plan for the future. Someone who has no plans for the future isn't living. They're merely existing. It's great living in the here and now, but not having bigger plans is like being in a raft drifting away, waiting to land wherever the tide takes you. We only get one shot in this life, and most of us just allow time to fly by without doing anything fulfilling. The young people especially fall prey to this. Successful people don't daydream, they fulfill their dreams. A sure way to know that you're on a crash course to self-annihilation is if you find it easier to get lost in your thoughts and fantasies instead of appreciating what's around you. All the great minds will tell you how important it is to stay rooted to reality. There's nothing wrong with being thoughtful, but envisioning things without doing anything about them isn't the same thing. You're not making the most of your time if you're daydreaming and planning better scenarios in your head instead of making things happen. Formulating plans is fine and everything, but keep in mind that dreams don't work until you do. Don't waste your life building castles in the air. 6. You spend money on things that don't matter. If you think about it, as long as you have food, water, loved ones, and a roof over your head, you're good to go. The rest are just extras or bonuses. There are certain things we waste money on, and if someone was to ask you why you bought it in the first place, you'd honestly have no clue. Stuff shouldn't be bought just because we can. They should serve a purpose. In the midst of chasing after luxuries, so as to keep up with their social status, some people forget that they have debts and loans to pay off. It's fascinating how you always have money to update your wardrobe and purchase the latest iPhone, but never enough to pay your bills or invest in meaningful things. It's important to keep track of your expenses. Save money for your future. Don't waste it. If your happiness is obtained merely when you buy or receive material gifts, your mind is trying to tell you you aren't doing anything worthwhile with your life. There are so many other ways to validate your self-worth. 7. You whine too much. Some people like complaining all the time. Nothing ever satisfies them. Their house is too small. They aren't earning enough. Nobody likes a complainer. Life can be unfair sometimes, but nothing good's ever going to come out of complaining about it. Don't waste your time nagging about something. If it's something you can change, do it. If you can't, don't focus too much on it. Start thinking more positively and concentrate on the good. Appreciate life and try to find solutions and not problems. You might think that complaining about something is just a way of blowing off steam, but studies suggest otherwise. Complaining draws you more and more towards negativity, and this just gets worse the more you do it. So complaining doesn't just eat into your time, it also makes it that much harder to be productive and happy. There's no better way of wasting time than missing out on opportunities and joy because you were too busy complaining. 8. You don't read a lot. Failing to read is yet another sign that you're wasting your life. There are those who think that it's all a waste of time, but that isn't so. You actually stand to gain more than you lose. Learning is an endless process. You don't stop learning when you reach a certain age. Acquiring more knowledge enables your brain to grow and adjust to change. The more your brain is active and engaged, the better it functions. The new challenges in life will give you the drive to achieve greater things each time. So set aside time every day to feed your mind. This will give you self-satisfaction that will help you focus on your future. 9. You are too conscious about other people's judgment. Worrying too much about what other people might think of you makes you put them first above all else, including yourself. It doesn't help anyone if you rely on the opinions of others. For some reason, you feel the need to make them happy, and so you go to great lengths to please them. You fear rejection, and whatever they want becomes your number one priority. It's okay to want to be there for someone else. It's actually part of human nature, but giving your all at your own expense isn't worth it. You only lose yourself in the process. You'll actually be of more help to someone if you take care of yourself first. No one should chastise you for prioritizing your needs. People with a vision don't do this because they're too busy getting things done, to listen to what people have to say about them. The opinions and judgments from those around you shouldn't distract you from the path you've set for yourself. Work hard and let them think what they want to. Focus on you and what needs to be done. 10. You live to work. We live in a society where your success is dictated by the hours you put in at work. Of course, we have to work to earn our keep, but when your life gravitates around your job, you miss out on all the other joys of life, like your friends, family, and new experiences. Pursuing your career is one of the greatest things you could ever do in this life, but it shouldn't be the only thing to define you. There is so much more you could do outside work that brings joy and delight. Try and find some hobbies or activities that may be of interest to you, and take a break from your hectic work life. If the decisions you make or the way you react to situations is defined by your work, it might be time to take a hard look at your job and how much you're putting into it. A lot of people are consumed by their jobs, and for some, it reaches a point that they can't think of anything else. If this describes you, then consider hiring someone and delegating. You don't have to be a one-man show to get ahead. You'll live a happier and fulfilling life if you create a life outside of work. There's no formula as to how to make the most out of life. But when you look at your life when you're older, the things you value right now may have nothing on the things you wish you would have dedicated more of your time to. Thank you all so much for watching. If you're new to the channel, welcome, and subscribe for more content like this. With that said, have a great day, you guys, and I'll see you all in the next one.